Hi, this is Kimberly. This is a final thoughts and review of the book My Daddy is a Hero by Lena Derhally. I'm going to commence to doing this video with quite a shocker. Are you ready for it? Well, here it is. I'm giving this book a 5 stars out of 5. Well, shit the bed. Yeah, it was that good. Are you surprised? I am too. To tell the truth, I started the review with 4.5 stars, and as I went on, I changed it to 4.75 and finally the 5 out of 5. Yeah, I can be all wishy-washy and shit at times. After being scarred by that previous clusterfuck that I read, I was initially on guard, but I soon found this to be a refreshing change. I only bring in the letters from Christopher Clusterfuck Conundrum Copycat Cadle book into this because Miss Lena has the unfortunate experience of quoting Cadle's book and analyzing parts of what C.W. allegedly said in his alleged letters. I saw in the comments that a few people were quite pissed off about Miss Lena quoting from Copycat Conundrum Cadle's book. And to be fair to Miss Lena, the plagiarism shit came out right before her book was released. And she was probably like, holy shit. Nah, she'd probably say, good heavens. But Cadle squandered a golden opportunity by pirating several parts of her book, and it was totally unnecessary. Wasn't necessary for that shit. She had letters from Asshat, something no one else had. He was telling her more lies about what happened. If she had just gone with that, that was all she needed. Printed the letters and talked about her visits and the phone calls. That's all she needed to do. Boom, bestseller. And get an editor, for God's sake. I was a bit leery of Miss Lena at first, because, as I said, I was scarred from that damn copycat book. Because she just seemed to be following the Discovery Files at first, and I was like, here we go again. How many times do we have to go through Discovery? However, she used the written Discovery Files that were released and the video. You know, I understand now she had to do that in order to establish the storyline. But what I liked about it, she didn't just do a big fat copy paste. She put it in her own words, except for parts, of course, where she couldn't, where she was quoting someone or showing text. But she put it in her own words and added some of her thoughts in the mix. It was very interesting to learn about the history of the term psychopath, sociopath, moral depravity, moral insanity, antisocial personality, shit like that. Chapter 18 did very good in explaining this in layman's terms, and it was very engaging, even though we left behind the topic of fuckface for a while. Also in Chapter 18, she did speak about how Penn had moved in on Shanann when she was in a vulnerable state with her guard down, and Asshat love bombed the shit out of her, and then she agreed to go out with him, and it got out of control from there. In Chapter 19, she said that C.W. was described as a quiet, shy, and socially awkward child, and that was pretty much it, other than a few more sentences. I thought she was going to delve into his childhood. To be fair, she did analyze all the bits that were given about him, about being a weird little boy and teenager, like including from the Cindy Watts interview. I thought she had more stuff, like new stuff that we didn't know, but she at least analyzed that. I think Miss Lena could have done a whole chapter on Cindy Watts' interview alone. The one with, I think it was Channel 9 News in Denver. You know the one. I thought Shanann had just run off. But I feel like I was led down the garden path, as my mom used to say. But Miss Lena had new stuff too. So no, I wasn't led down the garden path. Miss Lena would never do that. She's all refined and cultured and shit. I particularly enjoyed Chapter 19, called Was I Born This Way? She explained and clarified attachment theory. Quote, one of the things I pay close attention to is attachment and development in childhood, because it clearly plays a role in how we choose our romantic partners in adulthood. In short, the Imago theory looks closely at the connection between our unmet needs and frustrations in our adult romantic relationships and how they are connected connected to our childhood experiences with primary caregivers, end quote. I'd not heard of that shit before, and I found it to be pretty absorbing and interesting. I did find this statement to be very telling and interesting as well from chapter 19. Quote, when children grow up with parents who don't express much emotion and don't allow them to express their feelings, they can feel as if they can't depend on anyone, and that increases their risk for becoming adults with narcissistic traits, end quote. And then she quickly disclaims that she does not blame or accuse Cindy or Paperback for any damn thing. Chapter 19 also gave us nice guy syndrome, coined by Dr. Robert Glover, who describes these, quote, nice guys as men who try too hard to please others, neglect their own needs, and end up being resentful, unhappy, and angry. So I'm thinking Chris Watts was that, quote, nice guy. In his book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, he says the term nice guy is a misnomer because these nice guys aren't so nice after all. This describes fuckface to a T. He had that nice guy syndrome. He's also a dick-nosed, nut biscuit, lazy shit hammer, trashy turd on butterface, bitchy waffle, smelly crotch clown, fluffy waddle dumpster, buckwit, fuzzy bottom bugger dauber, piece of shit, go to hell and die. The last 4 or so chapters, she did get to the meat of it and started explaining just how fucked up Chris fucktard asshat Pinhead Watts is. This is where I initially took a portion of stars off. Some of it was too technical for my liking. It was a hard read. The chapters were long and read like a textbook at times. Miss Lena is a very educated young woman, so much so that I think she forgot sometimes she was writing a book for the masses, meaning all the ordinary people in society, a large general group of regular folks, the common people of a society. If you're super rich, you ride around in a private jet, while the masses take crowded buses. Middle America, rank and file, working class, commonality, grassroots, common people, John Q. Public. Let me illustrate. This is a quote from the book. Quote, the Paralympic system is a network of brain regions stretching from the orbital frontal complex to the posterior cingulate cortex and right anterior insular cortex region of the brain. End quote. This makes perfect sense to Miss Lena, but it made my fucking eyes glaze over. Now, this is Miss Lena's book and not mine, of course. I can't tell her how to do her own damn book, just like others can't tell me how to do my channel. However, I think if it was possible to weave in both topics of Watts and the psychology of it together, make it an easier read for us common folk, maybe. I don't know. Actually, but maybe sliced up those psychology chapters a little bit more and throw fuckface in there a little bit more, sprinkle them around so that it's a little less technical and shit. But then, as I was skimming the book again for this final review, I found that it wasn't as technical and as academic as I remembered it. And I was like, what the hell? I was looking for shit that wasn't there. Upon further reflection, because I'm all reflective and shit, she did do that shit in the last 4 chapters. The weaving shit I was trying to explain. I was just scarred from the textbook looking stuff. There really wasn't all that much in there. And I do realize in order to do this, she would have had to do the psychology stuff first. And then she would have lost me in the first chapter, or people like me. So, Miss Lena, you did the book right. You do you. I know you were going to do it anyway because you're all intelligent and stuff. I like how it wasn't just her opinion, but she asked other professional opinions and included them in the book as well. Also, she cited several sources for her research. She researched more than just reviewing the damn discovery documents. She did make it easier for us to understand, despite my bitching. I must have been tired, y'all. When I get like that, just tell me to go to bed. It'll piss me off and I'll slam the door, but I'll do it because now I'm mad and I'm not tired, goddammit, and I'll turn the TV on and promptly fall asleep, and when I get up, I'll sheepishly apologize. My grandkids are the reason I wake up each morning, reason I breathe, and why my hair is falling out, my house is a mess, and I'm crazy. Well, my husband thinks I'm crazy, but, if I am, I'm not the one that married me. So, I love my family, but they just don't seem as enchanted by my stories as y'all do. So don't be scared, even though I may be a bit scary when I start hollering and slam the door. I don't care what you think of me, unless you think I'm awesome, in which case you're right. This book, My Daddy is a Hero by Miss Lena Derhally. This book is worth reading again, seriously. And I will read it again just so I can fully absorb it. It's reading and reviewing chapter by chapter is not the same as just fully immersing yourself in a good book. And this is a good book. 5-star book. Upon looking at the book again for this final review, I discovered that the technical parts aren't as technical as I initially thought. I don't want to seem like I think I'm always right, but I am, and that's why it comes across that way. For those of you wondering, my pink eye is looking much better. I had an antibiotic eye drop prescription left over from another time, and it worked. It's helping a lot. It's pretty much gone now. We're still running fevers around here, though, and my daughter took my granddaughter to an urgent care place, and I'll be glad when this shit passes and goes straight to hell, this coronavirus bullshit. Right now, for my next thing, I'm going to hold off on reviewing another book. What I will do is cover a few cases, and I'll just stick to these so I can do them in depth. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of cases, just 2 or 3. I can't spread myself too thin. I've been trying to do that shit for years, and my body just wants to stay thick and fat, But the only reason I'm fat is because there's no way a tiny body could hold all of this personality. I used to try and gain weight when I was a kid and a teenager. My brother always called me skinny, and he was really mean about it. He said that I was so skinny he was embarrassed to invite his friends over. And people used to ask if we were brother and sister. He would say no. One day I was on the front porch of our house doing a cheer. I wanted to be a cheerleader. I longed to be a cheerleader. That was one's main goal, for high school back then. So I started practicing on my own for being a cheerleader when I was in elementary school. So I was on the front porch, and this is early 1970s, mind you. And there I was. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. And I was jumping and clapping my hands under my legs like I had seen all of the Marsha Brady and Karen Carpenter type high school girls in our suburban neighborhood doing. Well, I was doing that and practicing my jumps and projecting my voice. I heard one of the coaches one day when I was at a football game at the junior high school telling the girls that were cheering to project their voice. And they had the coolest uniforms, and I wanted to wear that so bad, and the saddle Oxford shoes, and man. By the way, these are random internet photos. I don't know these people. Well, I was in the middle of one of my high-spirited jumps and yelling, "Yay, touchdown, come on team, come on Spartans." I was good at this and I knew it. Remember that really awkward stage, probably 8 to 10, and your permanent teeth are coming in and you look all goofy and shit, and your teeth are jagged and all different sizes, and a couple of your teeth have already reached the full adult size, and you're nowhere near finished growing. And you just know in your heart, not only are you cool, but everyone can obviously see that you are cool. You just know it, man. There I was. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. The boys got the muscles, the girls got the brains. Something, 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 something. Come on, team. And all this, shit that you can't say now in a cheer. But anyway, I'm out there just cheering my heart out because, and I was pretending I was trying out for the high school cheerleading team, and all of a sudden I felt somebody grab me by the arm, pull me into the house, and slap me across the face. It was my damn brother. He complained that he was too embarrassed to ever go to school again because of me. This incident was the topic of dinner conversation. Me and my brother fought in the kitchen all afternoon and were chasing each other around the house and stuff, and I was clawing him with my long nails because that was my only, thing to get him with. And finally, we sit down to dinner, and my brother pleaded his case at the dinner table. You can't let her do this. And on the front porch, it's embarrassing. And I'm like, he slapped me. And my dad was like, well, Kimberly, boys are going to be like that. And I'm like, what? And my brother, as usual, would insist that my parents spank me. For what? For doing cheers? No, you were acting like a, and just fill in the blank with a bunch of mean and rude and crude, very un-PC, they're not PC now names that he would call me. Horrible stuff. You can't say them now. And the end result of this was my brother and I, well, both of us were pissed off with the end result. I could still do cheers, but it had to be in the backyard. I was pissed, he was pissed, but anyway, back to this other shit. This is the shit I would like to cut. How the hell did I get on that? I don't know. This is the shit I would like to cover for now. The piece of shit grouch. I just can't wait to tear into that piece of shit. So, but the 𝓬𝓲𝓷𝓭𝓵, piece of shit, 𝓵𝓸𝓿𝓮, even though he offed himself, but I want to cover his ex-girlfriend 𝓬𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓭𝓵 and the adventure that she has in front of her. And I'm thinking she was going to throw 𝓵𝓸𝓿 under the bus. That was going to be her defense in order to get a lighter sentence, but since he already threw himself under the bus, almost literally threw himself under the car while he was in the car with the water hose. We all know how that ended. But I want to see what her new angle is. I was really into the Jennifer Dulos case when it was first going on. I think it was last summer. I know a lot of people are interested in the 𝓵𝓲𝓼𝓲𝓽 case. I've not followed that too much, but it seems very interesting. I've only followed it a little bit because I was doing the book and then the 𝓬𝓲 thing, and I don't know too much about the 𝓵𝓲𝓼𝓲 backstory, but I want to catch up on that, on the current events with that one, and that's enough for now. The 𝓬𝓲𝓼𝓲𝓽, or La Piece of Shit 𝓲𝓲𝓼𝓲𝓽, 𝓵𝓸𝓿𝓮, 𝓚𝓲𝓼𝓲𝓽, and 𝓵𝓸𝓿. Those are the things I'll cover for now. It'll keep me busy, and who knows, one day I may even do a grammar lesson. What the fuck is it with the 𝑦𝑟 and the 𝑦𝑟? How? It's not that difficult. That's the difference between knowing your shit and your shit. Sadly, there's just no vaccine against stupidity. And the President's Coronavirus Guidelines for America, follow that verbatim, please. I want to keep up with that shit too. But, I was watching the task force thing that they do every day, and if I had taken a shot yesterday every time Vice President Pence said the President's Coronavirus Guidelines for America, if I'd have done a shot every time he said that, I would be in ICU right now for alcohol poisoning. However, a link to the President's Coronavirus Guidelines for America will be pasted in the description box, and I urge you to click on it and follow those. And did y'all notice not one picture of 𝓵𝓸𝓿 was in this video? Much love and peace. Thank you for listening.
No, don't take it off.
Ah! Your turn first.
Drink some water.
Don't eat the corn, you goof.
Yeah, both of them.
There you go. Good girl.
Steak.
What?
Uh-huh.
Steak. No.
2,
No.
3,
Stop hitting my arm.
4. Plus, you get the one piece in, not 4 at a time.